this interpretation or this translation comes to us by Alberto Villoldo in his work Yoga, Power, and Spirit. The teachings of yoga begin now. Yoga is vigilance, awareness, and stillness of the mind. Yoga frees you from the drama, the tragedy, the saga that your mind creates, and it allows you to experience your true self. Your true self knows reality and does not confuse it with the twisted tales your mind spins. Some of these stories bring pleasure, and some bring pain. All are forms of fiction that distract you from reality and from your true self. So let's begin and breathe together, connecting each of us with our true selves individually and then collectively as in collective spirit and collective practice as we conspire. So let's do some vagal stretches, and these are things that are really kind of interesting, you know, when you play with your earlobes. And I pulled my hair back so everybody can see my ears. So you're just gonna kind of make big hoop earrings and clasp them onto your fingers onto your earlobes. I like to start up at the top, but you can start down low. It doesn't really matter, or start in the middle. And just sort of grab a hold of gently grab a hold of your earlobes and roll them around like in 5 times in one direction, and even pull and tug a little bit and then go in the other direction. So we know the vagal nerve moves out to the ears, to all the sense organs. So we're very triggered excuse me, by our senses, by sound. And then also in the other way with sound. So that's music is soothing to the nervous system. So then you can go down to the middle portion and go again around 5 times, and then back in the other direction. And then don't forget your lower lobes. And then you can even gently pull on the little fleshy parts of the ears, go all the way around. I like to just pull on them, and it's like, oh, that feels so good. And you can even fold them over and just sort of cup your hands over fold your earlobes over, and then cup your hands over your ears for a couple breaths. All right, and then let's do the vagal stretch. So you can take your chin up. So this is a very real stretch. The vagal nerve runs down once it branches out of the base of the skull, the brain, comes down, branches to the sides of the neck, and it runs down the what's called the carotid sheath, and it's just sort of a membrane that covers or goes around the vagus nerve on either side of your neck and the carotid artery and your jugular vein. So the carotid sheath just holds those kind of in place, but they're all there together. And so then when you open your throat like this, you are completely giving it a massage. And then you can bring your chin down, squeeze the neck, squeeze the chin down. Just take a couple breaths on each way, and then take the chin back up. And you can even give the base of your skull or the top of your neck there a little squeeze, gentle squeeze when you take your chin up. And you can also squeeze your shoulder blades together. I was adding this in end of last week. So you can squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back body when you do that. I've been doing this sometimes when I walk the dog, stopping and can't do it when I'm actually walking. I stop and do this, but the whole squeezing of the shoulder blades is really active. And then you can even round your shoulders, kind of hunch your back as you exhale. Make some white noise, ocean sounds, or waterfall sounds with your pursed lips, through pursed lips. And then inhaling and lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together and opening the throat. And just do one more. All right. Now let's practice some anuloma viloma. This is some alternate nostril breathing. So we're just going to do a 4-8 rhythm. So again, thinking about keeping us in this rest and digest, neutral zone, if you want to call it that. So the breath rhythm being a 2-to-1 ratio. So anytime that you can encourage your exhalations to be twice the length of the inhalations, then you're going to encourage yourself to be relaxed and be your nervous system to be relaxed. So we're going to inhale to the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 8. You can make your deer mudra. Looks like a bunny. So you're gonna make your deer mudra. Put your fingers over your forehead. And another addition to this is that you can kind of rub the center of your forehead or tap it. Tap the center of the forehead, your third eye, 6th chakra. Just tap it, or rub it in a circle, one direction, then the other, and then put the nose clip on. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and begin. So you're going to inhale to the count of 4. And you can hear the music and perhaps use the music as your rhythm. And then pinch off both sides. Exhale to 8. Inhale through the left. And pinch off the right. Keep going. Inhale 4. Pinch off both sides. And then exhale out through the left. Inhale through the left. And exhale through the right. Keep going. Let's do 2 more. And then when you get to the end of your second one, you can release your hand and just let it rest on your leg. Just close your eyes for a moment here and just notice what's new. Notice how the quality of your energy might already be shifting. Quality of your attention, maybe. Maybe there are other qualities that have come to light. So now let's move right into an even four square breath, so that you're going to inhale to 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and keep going. So it's like you're making a box. And that's kind of, for some people, that's nice to have something visual to trace, when you're doing these breath practices. And so again, you can be using the music to help keep you rhythmic, and also keep in mind that you might have that sense at some point here in the in this breath practice that you're not really inhaling so completely and fully, like the lungs aren't completely expanded, and that's okay. Keep in mind that the rhythm is what's important to maintain, and letting the inhales and the exhales kind of balance out in terms of volume. See too if you can relax when you're retaining the breath, when you're holding the breath. Seeing those moments as the time that the magic is happening, the thought files are reprogramming. That's when you can go in really deep. So we'll try to do this for, looks like you probably already have started. So I'm going to go ahead and time for another 5 minutes. So 4 in, 4, hold for 4, 4 out, hold for 4, and then keep going. If you wish, you can add in a tapping where you're tapping maybe on your legs. Maybe you could tap your side of your hand, the rhythm that you are breathing to. feel like you can also exhale the breath out through pursed lips, but then close the mouth again for the breath hold and the inhalation. So you can go ahead and finish this last breath, coming to the end of the round cycle. And then you can stop tapping. And you can close your eyes. And again, noticing what's new. What are you experiencing? And then let's just do 2 or 3, maybe 4 rounds of a humming breath. And so here again, thinking about those tubular structures that go down through the sides of your neck. And that when you're humming, your vocal cords are right there in the middle. And so as you're humming, thinking about a sense of vibrating the whole area of the neck. So a real softening of that area, releasing of any leftover tension that might still be there. So breathing in through the nose, maybe to the count of 4. And then hum. And then when you get to that point that you can't make any more sound, that's probably the sign that you can stop and take another inhalation, inhaling maybe to the same count of 4. Last one. So as you sit here, you can slowly open your eyes. Gonna be aware of what you're bringing to the mat with you for the rest of your practice.
So having a sense of how Tadasana is not your everyday standing posture, like, you're standing in line at the grocery store waiting to cash out, or standing in line anywhere, or standing up anywhere. That when you take Tadasana and you're coming into your body, there's a sense of the attitude of Tadasana. And I know you've heard me mention this before, but I don't think I've talked about it lately. And I almost think it's funny that the word for mountain is Tada, right? T-A-D-A, that's how it's spelled. And but in kind of colloquial English, when we say like that you've shown up, right? Here I am. And then you say, ta-da, right? So it's kind of like you come into your body, you come to this spot on the mat, this time of the day, this time of the week, over and over again, this discipline of this, and you're in a very real way announcing yourself. Ta-da! It's like, here I am. And just notice that sense of arrival, as you take your place. And even I think what that sense of arriving and presence, how it shifts your experience of standing on your mat. Right? It makes me smile, even when I'm not feeling well. So see if you can connect with something that's a little bit deeper than just the idea of standing. And then when you're ready, breathe your hands to your heart. So the palms come together right in front of the heart chakra. The anahat is the name. So even in this sense too, greeting, hands coming together in greeting, in connection, in union with the anahat. That you might even in your mind speak the name of the anahat. And anahat means that which is unstruck. All the other chakras need to be struck in order to be able to vibrate and play their tune. But the anahat doesn't need to be struck. It is already vibrating with love. And then when you're ready, breathe your arms up and overhead. So elongating the body. You can be the tree bending in the wind, or you can bend the elbows and crisscross your arms into the most excellent mudra, opening the armpits, but lifting the arms, pointing the elbows up toward the ceiling. Even feeling the skin of the abdomen stretching, elongating. Which if you've been doing all those other things that we do during our day, the abdominal wall doesn't really get much of a stretch. So you can even move the hips around. Plant your feet and move your hips around to get the belly to stretch here. So So it's a very windy day here for this tree. Like it was today, kind of. The trees are really blowing around today. All right, and then you can take your arms up and get ready to swan dive. Folding from your hips. So slowly warming the backs of your legs up, trying to drape yourself over the legs so that you're not straining your lower back, and that the main focus of the stretch of this pose is in your legs. So play with another arm position. So if you had your hands on the floor, maybe take your elbows with the fingertips for a cradled arm position. Or if you like yoga mudra, clasping your hands behind your back and taking your arms overhead, you can go for that one. Or if you have another one that I haven't mentioned. One more breath. And then you can take your arms or your hands back down to the back of your hips. Get ready for chaturanga. And step your feet back. Chaturanga. Nice high push-up position, or remember you can drop to the knees. Either is going to be impactful on the abdominal corset, on the strengthening aspect of the abdominal corset. But if you're trying to keep your shoulders safe, you might wish to put your knees on the ground. And then when you're ready, you can lower yourself down, come halfway down, or you could do like a modified child's pose. Again, if shoulder safety is something you need to be aware of, then practice shoulder safety. So then from lowering yourself down, then you can come up. Up dogs. Shoulders back, shoulders away from the ears. Breathe. Again, belly stretch. Another breath or two. And then when you're ready, downward dog. Coming up. So check back with your feet there, so the outer edges are parallel to each other. You can wiggle the toes, separate the toes, spread the toes. Balance on the balls of the feet as you dig your heels back. Channeling one of my first yoga teachers just now. That was weird. Balls of the feet.
Dig the heels back. Roll your sit bones up. Take another breath or two. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, walking your feet back up to your starting place. Another Uttanasana. And again, if you like a different arm position besides just having your hands on the floor, then go for it. This is your practice. You are free to explore in your yoga practice. And let's take another breath or two here now. And hands to the back of the hips. Let's find Utkatasana. So lately I've been practicing Utkatasana with my hands behind my back, kind of like a speed skater arm position. But if you prefer the classic, arms straight up alongside your ears, then go for that. I mean, it's up to you. I've just been enjoying the way that having my arms behind my back keeps my chest open. And I can sit more deeply. Just, something I'm exploring. But 5 full breaths regardless. And then using your butt muscles, your strong legs, thighs to go ahead and come up. And then you can bring the palms together at your heart. Coming back to your starting place. So steady your gaze. And even imagining that, when you steady your gaze on a focal point, looking straight ahead, this is called a drishti in Sanskrit, but have the sense that instead of it being something that's right there, like, 5 feet in front of you, or maybe the wall on the other side of the room that you're staring at, have a sense that you can be kind of gazing way out into toward the horizon, like you have a far away kind of gaze. And just noticing how this relaxes the muscles around your eyes when you try to focus, have a far-sighted kind of vision or gaze. The expanse of the space between you and the horizon. And even imagining it on all sides of you. If you were to turn your head and look all around you, you don't have to turn your head to do this. You can just imagine it, the horizon off in all directions, 360 degrees, right? And so imagine the abundance of that sight, that space, from horizon to horizon. As you're ready, breathe your hands to the heart. And continue along. Breathe your arms up and overhead. Swan dive. Chaturanga. Coming halfway down. So if you're doing the half push-up, coming halfway down, full chaturanga, remember to squeeze your elbows in and elongate before you plop down onto the floor. And then coming up. Up dogs. Downward dog. So staying with your breath, and at the end of the third breath, coming back up to the top of the mat. Uttanasana. And then Utkatasana. Five full breaths total. And as you're ready, come back up. Coming back to your starting place. Taking Tadasana. Steady the gaze. Stay present. As you're ready, breathe the hands to the heart. Chaturanga. Coming halfway down. And then all the way to the floor. To push up for up dogs. And downward dog. Three full breaths here. Maybe applying that 1% smile. onto your face. And then walking back up to the top of the mat after your third breath. Utkatasana. 5 breaths here. Check in with your knees, make sure they're tracking forward. And coming up after your 5th breath. So go ahead and take a seat. And you can just sit on a block. Or you can stand and actually for these as well, you know, you could do standing Kapala bodies if you would like to. Be very classic in that practice. But if you're going to sit, you could just sit on a block. And I like putting a block on the floor in front of me, or you could put 2 blocks so that you're not narrowing your chest. So that requires you to have 3 blocks, of course. Or the seat of a chair would also be something that would be good for you to put your hands on, right? Yeah. Just trying to make, as you tilt forward a little bit, just trying to make that space in the belly so that you can exhale quickly, right? So let's do about, I'm going to face this way. So let's do about 3 of these, 3 rounds of these. And you're going to do about 30 breaths. If you can go for more quick exhalations, then go for it. I'm going to do 30 just to keep the consistency there. And then we'll do 3 of those, okay? 3 rounds of 30. So remember the exhalations are quick. We're just exhaling tonight through the nose and inhaling through the nose as well. And that there's that kind of the pumping of the stomach, right, of the abdomen, not really the stomach, but the abdomen, abdominal wall. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start officially my 30 counts now. Yeah, that was 30. That seemed like I could go for more, but I'll stop at 30 for now. So maybe just go until you feel that you're starting to feel your abdominal muscles kind of, you know, feel like they're working and that they're telling you that they'd like to take a break. Oh, Cindy just blipped out. All right, so keep going. Do another round. So it was actually 40. I think you're frozen. Am I frozen or are you frozen? Oh, okay, good. Thanks, Michelle. So just take a little break, and then you can go for the last round. I have Feel your abdominal muscles tomorrow, which will be a good thing. As you're ready, just go until you can't do another one, until you come to the point of exhaustion. So I have no idea how many I just did, but do you know how many you did on that last one? All right, well, let's get ready for standing poses, so get your blocks. Again, taking Tadasana. And as you're ready, breathe your hands to the heart. And arms overhead. And swan dive. So I think we're on the right foot stepping back side tonight. So go ahead and step back with the right foot as you get ready for Warrior Two. Keep the balance, as I almost keeled to one side. Push the clouds down with your hands as you elongate your spine up through the central channel, up through the crown of the head. Last breath. And then draw yourself over the front leg, Parshokonasana. Trying to allow the torso to twist, but keep yourself streamlined so that you're not leaning or swaying back in the space behind you, that everything's stacked up. One more breath. And then as you're ready, windmilling the right arm around, Trikonasana. Triangle. I've been seeing triangles a lot lately. Not in the usual places. Be expansive. Another breath. And get ready to fly. Half moon. So it's helpful to find a focal point when you're trying to balance on one leg. And then once you've picked that focal point, try not to, waver that gaze. So don't try to turn your head. Just pick a focal point and commit. Another breath. And then bringing your back leg down, touch down with the back foot. Parsvottanasana, allowing the back of the pelvis to be flush. Trying to elongate the front body over the front leg, pointing the chin to the left big toe. Another breath here. And as you're ready, transition to Pavrita Trikonasana, your revolved triangle. Rotating. Arm up. Or hand on the hip. Try and grow expansive here as well. Definitely more difficult. We tend to feel more contracted in revolved triangle than in the not revolved version. One last breath. And then coming back to face the floor, facing your left foot. And then step up with the right foot. Getting ready for a little Padahastasana action. Standing on the hands. Or if that really doesn't work for your hands, then you can put the hands in the same shape, so kind of flipping them over upside down. So the back of your hand is on the floor. And just put it next to its corresponding foot. Take refuge here. Inner sanctuary. One last breath. And remove your hands out from under the feet. And we're going to step back now with the left foot. I'm going to come around to this side. Warrior two. Otra vez. Another breath. And glide yourself forward. Parsvottanasana. One more breath. And windmilling to straighten the legs. Reach up to the ceiling. Expand your triangles. One more breath. And get ready to fly. Enjoy the sensations of being weightless. One more breath. And return to earth. Touch down with the back foot. Parsvottanasana. Flush hips. First thing you do is make sure the back of the pelvis is neutral. That one side is not pointing up or down. If you have to bend the front knee to achieve that, or bend the back knee, actually is probably a better choice. To achieve that flushness, that's fine. And remember that you're trying to drape your body across, or over, not across, but over the front leg. And when you're ready, transitioning to your revolve triangle. One more breath. Sometimes there's so much stillness in the posture that it's hard to come back out. But let's transition to the expansive pose, prasara, prasarita, padottanasana. Deciding if you're going to take the head to the floor or not, or if you're going to clasp your hands behind the back and take the arms overhead or not. Decide. So many possibilities in this posture. You can also take the head to a block. It's a little too high for me tonight, but it's possible. can take one more breath here. And start your transition back. You can hop the legs back together. You can just come to sit on the floor. And bring your hands to your heart. So let's grab your 2 blocks and let's do some upper body or upper back twisting and stretching. So 2 blocks, probably you only need 1 for the first one, but we're going to do this. We're going to thread the needle. So you're going to reach under your body as you twist and take the shoulder to the floor. And then take so if the left shoulder's on the floor, the right arm goes up into the air, and you can take the arm over and rest it on a block. And you can take the block up to the medium setting if you like. You could even explore the higher. Actually, I've been playing around with the higher one these days. But it might feel a little too high in a funky kind of a way. So just use whatever height works for you. Take a few breaths, a few more, and then we'll switch sides. And then just slide your hand down onto the floor and push yourself up. And then we'll twist to the other side. So you start off on hands and knees and then bring one arm under, turning or twisting, rotating as you bring the shoulder to the floor. And then the arm comes up in the air. The other arm comes up in the air and you bring it to rest on your block. So you can take another breath. Slide your hand down off the block onto the floor so that it's more or less right in front of your face. And then you can push yourself up. All right, so now we're going to do a mid-back bend. So this is fast becoming my favorite back bend. I felt like it kind of put my sacrum back in place the last time I did it, actually. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is just the best. So just get 2 blankets and you have your 2 blocks already there. So we're going to sit in a cross-legged position, but you're going to roll up your blankets and stick them underneath your legs the way that you would for Baddha Konasana, you know, when we do Supta Baddha Konasana. So it's going to be a similar kind of support structure that you're going to create. So you're going to be sitting cross-legged. And if I remember to tell you to come up and switch your legs, that would be good, but I might not remember to do that, and we might only do it one leg. So the block that's going to be available for you when you rest back onto it on the shoulder, under the shoulder blades, will be at the middle setting, and then the one that's going to go under the head will be at the tall setting. Okay, so you go ahead and drape back, and you might, of course, have to adjust how far away those blocks are. So we're going to stay here for a few minutes, and you can take your arms out on the floor to the sides of you. Externally rotate the arms so the palms are facing up toward the ceiling. Close your eyes. And so notice the form, the shape of your back. You want to avoid your lower back collapsing or curving downward or down toward the floor. You want to feel that your belly is kind of lifted, and you can even, if you want, take your hands to the flesh of the buttocks or pull on your clothing. I've been pulling on my whatever pants I'm wearing and kind of pull back on the fabric of the clothing towards, as if you're trying to roll the sit bones up. And when you pull on the fabric of your clothing, you might notice that this will create that anterior tilt of the front of the pelvis, which is nice. And then you don't have to think about it so much, you don't have to be so vigilant in your awareness about the pelvis. You can be more vigilant about other things. So just breathe. Also, if you want, you can, for some upward lift, you can cradle the elbows with your fingertips and let your arms be drawn over your head, and let the arms kind of drop down on the other side of your head. If that's too intense for your shoulders, then release your arms now and bring them back to the floor. But if you like this, then stay this way. You choose. All right, so you can take one more breath, because I do want us to switch legs, and I remembered. So you can take if your arms were still clasped, or you were still had your fingers on your elbows and overhead, just release that now and take your arms to the floor. And you can flip your hands over just to kind of push or bring your hands in closer to the body and give push-ups. So you give yourself a little boost to come to sit up. And so now you're going to switch your legs. So you know what to do. Switch the front leg with the back leg. And you're going to look back at your blocks here. And because we're only going to use one now, and we're going to kind of do, it's like you're going to drape over the block here, almost like you're going to be in fish. Do scoop your head when you pick your head up. Okay, so be vigilant about that safety to your neck. Don't want to strain your neck. So you can cradle your elbows again and take your arms overhead. Or you could also wrap your arms around yourself, like in the Steve Martin Wild and Crazy Guys hug. You could do it that way. It's like all the lovely spaciousness in your spine. Do you notice this? Am I the only one that notices this? All right, so go ahead and scoop your head with your hands. Raise your head up, and then when it's more in an upright position, you can bring your hands to the floor and push yourself forward so you come to sit up. Yeah? Good? Good news? So, you can decide how you wish to end your practice tonight. We just did 2 pretty intense back bends there. So if you're feeling like your back might want to just go, down back to neutral, that maybe set yourself up for Stonehenge. Oh, yeah. And so since this is like a fish, that when you're manipulating your body through the different, if you have to change the block, if it's on the right place. I don't know if I shared this with you guys last week, but I looked up on I Googled it. I wanted to know how many stone circles there are in England, in Britain, and in England, and that there are over 1,000 stone circles in England, which I find to be like, wow, how cool is that? And then, but that's just circles, of the without the hinges along the tops. But there are over 300 circles that have hinges. So like your bolster creating the hinge here. So I thought that was pretty cool. You can go ahead and lay back. Let your body spread, the back body spread, so you take up the room that you need to completely relax. You can cover with a blanket. If you feel cold, or just for the weighted aspect of the blanket. And then just take a few moments to release and relax all the little muscles of your face, all the little muscles around your eyes. You could even tap the center of the forehead again. Tap, 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 tap. Tap along the eyebrows with your fingertips. Tap underneath the eyes, the bridge of the nose. Then tap the forehead again. You can tap the heart. Sides of the hands. And then just lay your arms on the floor and let them feel heavy. Externally rotating the arms so the palms are open and facing upward. Letting your fingers curl as your hands relax. And just allow yourself to feel the space, to be the space inside your head. Imagining the space between the 2 temples, perhaps drawing a line, an imaginary line from one temple to the other. And then another imaginary line from the middle of the forehead all the way to the back of the occiput. And that somewhere in there, then those 2 lines are going to intersect. And so see if you can have a sense of where that intersection is in the midbrain, deep in the brain. Have a sense of the amazing workings of your brain. As you breathe, simply being. And then if you like, you can seed these words in your brain. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole. I am harmonious. I am loving. I am whole. I am healthy. I am happy. I am harmonious. I am loving. I am whole. I am happy. I am healthy. I am harmonious. I am loving. And if there are any others that you would like to include right now that have special meaning for you, then go ahead and do that. So you can slowly start to bring an end to your practice this evening. And without moving too quickly, so that you don't jar the yoga right out of you, and that you also kind of fail to notice what you're bringing out with you, that which you created in your practice this evening. As you bend your knees, roll to your side. And then go ahead and come to sit up. And as you come to sit, you can bring your palms together in front of your heart. Bowing your head to honor yourself. And remember, you already have everything that you need inside. Namaste. Let's do as Susie says. Are you ready? Susie says, yeah. So you have to look at the screen though, so that we know that we're talking. Here you talk. Oh, really? Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing, Susie. That's amazing.